Although everything has Buddha nature, we love flowers. We do not care for weeds. This is true of human nature, but that we are attached to some beauty is itself Buddha's activity. What? That we do not care for weeds is also Buddha's activity. We should know that. If you know that, it is all right to attach to something. If it is Buddha's attachment, that is non-attachment. So in love, there should be hate, or non-attachment. And in hate, there should be love, or acceptance. Love and hate are one thing. We should not attach to love alone. We should accept hate. We should accept weeds, despite how we feel about them. If you do not care for them, do not love them. If you love them, then love them. Usually you criticize yourself for being unfair to your surroundings. You criticize your unaccepting attitude, but there is a very subtle difference between the usual way of accepting and our way of accepting things. Although they may seem exactly the same, we have been taught that there is no gap between nighttime and daytime, no gap between you and I. This means oneness, but we do not emphasize even oneness. If it is one, there is no need to emphasize one. Dogen said, "To learn something is to know yourself. To study Buddhism is to study yourself. To learn something is not to acquire something which you did not know before. You know something before you learn it. There is no gap between the I. Before you know something and the I. After you know something, there is no gap between the ignorant and the wise. A foolish person is a wise person. A wise person is a foolish person. But usually we think, he is foolish and I am wise. Or I was foolish, but now I am wise. How can we be wise if we are foolish? But the understanding transmitted from Buddha to us is that there is no difference whatsoever between the foolish man and the wise man. It is so. But if I say this, people may think that I am emphasizing oneness. This is not so. We do not emphasize anything. All we want to do is to know things just as they are. If we know things as they are, there is nothing to point at. There is no way to grasp anything. There is no thing to grasp. We cannot put emphasis on any point. Nevertheless, as Dogen said, a flower falls, even though we love it, and a weed grows, even though we do not love it. Even though it is so, this is our life. In this way, our life should be understood. Then there is no problem. Because we put emphasis on some particular point, we always have trouble. We should accept things just as they are. This is how we understand everything, and how we live in this world. This kind of experience is something beyond our thinking. In the thinking realm, there is a difference between oneness and variety, but in actual experience, variety and unity are the same. Because you create some idea of unity or variety, you are caught by the idea. And you have to continue the endless thinking, although actually there is no need to think. Emotionally, we have many problems, but these problems are not actual problems. They are something created. They are problems pointed out by our self-centered ideas or views. Because we point out something, there are problems. But actually, it is not possible to point out anything in particular. Happiness is sorrow. Sorrow is happiness. There is happiness in difficulty, difficulty in happiness. Even though the way we feel are different, they are not really different. In essence, they are the same. This is the true understanding transmitted from Buddha to us. A master was asked a question. What is the way? By a serious monk. "It is right before your eyes," said the master. "Why do I not see it for myself?" "Because you are thinking of yourself." "What about you? Do you see it?" "So long as you see double, saying I don't and you do, and so on, your eyes are clouded," said the master. "When there is neither I nor you, can one see it? When there is neither I nor you, who is the one that wants to see it?" Joshu asked a monk who appeared for the first time in the hall, "Have I ever seen you here before?" The monk answered, "No, sir, you have not." "Then have a cup of tea," said Joshu. He turned to another monk. "Have I ever seen you here before?" he said. "Yes, sir, of course you have," said the second monk. "Then have a cup of tea," said Joshu. Later, the managing monk of the monastery asked Joshu, "How is it that you make the same offer of tea whatever the reply to your question?" At this, Joshu shouted, "Manager, are you still here?" "Of course, master," the manager answered. "Then have a cup of tea," said Joshu.
The master Guti made a practice of raising his finger whenever he explained a question about Zen. A very young disciple began to imitate him, and every time Guti raised his finger when he preached, this boy would raise his finger too. Everybody laughed. One day, Guti caught him at it. He took the boy's hand, whipped out a knife, cut off the finger, and threw it away. The boy walked off howling. "Stop!" shouted Guti. The boy stopped and looked at the master through his tears. Guti raised his finger. The boy raised his finger. Then suddenly, he realized it wasn't there. He hesitated a moment. Then he bowed. Limiting your activity. Usually when someone believes in a particular religion, his attitude becomes more and more a sharp angle, pointing away from himself. In our way, the point of the angle is always towards ourselves. In our practice, we have no particular purpose or goal, nor any special object of worship. In this respect, our practice is somewhat different from the usual religious practices. Joshu, a great Chinese Zen master, said, "A clay Buddha cannot cross water. A bronze Buddha cannot go through a furnace. A wooden Buddha cannot get through fire." Whatever it is, if your practice is directed towards some particular object, such as clay, a bronze, or a wooden Buddha, it would not work. So, as long as you have some particular goal in your practice, that practice will not help you completely. It may help as long as you are directed towards that goal, but when you resume your everyday life, it will not work. You may think that if there is no purpose or no goal in our practice, we will not know what to do, but there is a way. The way to practice without having any goal is to limit your activity, or to be concentrated on what you are doing in this moment. Instead of having some particular object in mind, you should limit your activity. When your mind is wandering about elsewhere, you have no chance to express yourself. But if you limit your activity to what you can do just now, in this moment, then you can express fully your true nature, which is the universal Buddha nature. This is our way. When we practice Zazen, we limit our activity to the smallest extent. Just keeping the right posture and being concentrated on sitting is how we express the universal nature. Then we become Buddha, and we express Buddha nature. So instead of having some object of worship, we just concentrate on the activity which we do in each moment. When you bow, you should just bow. When you sit, you should just sit. When you eat, you should just eat. I think some of you who practice Zazen here may believe in some other religion, but I do not mind. Our practice has nothing to do with some particular religious belief, and for you, there is no need to hesitate to practice our way, because it has nothing to do with Christianity or Hinduism or Muslimism. Our practice is for everyone. Usually when someone believes in a particular religion, his attitude becomes more and more a sharp angle, pointing away from himself. But our way is not like this. In our way, the point of the sharp angle is always towards ourselves, not away from ourselves. So though there is no need to worry about the difference between Buddhism and the religion you may believe in. Joshua's statement about the different Buddhas concern those who direct their practice towards some particular Buddha. One kind of Buddha will not serve your purpose completely. You will have to throw it away sometime, or at least ignore it. But if you understand the secret of our practice, wherever you go, you yourself are boss, no matter what the situation. You cannot neglect Buddha, because you are yourself a Buddha. Only this Buddha will help you completely.
In Tetsujin's time, the holy Buddhist books in Chinese had never been published in Japanese, and Tetsujin thought they should be prepared so for his own countrymen. He planned to have several thousand copies printed from hand-engraved woodblocks, and went from town to town to collect donations so this great work could be ahead. After 10 years, he had the money needed and started to have the blocks cut. Just then, the Uji River flooded, and there was famine in the land. Tetsujin took the money he had collected and bought rice for the starving people. Then he started out to collect his funds again. Whether the donation was a little one or in coins of gold, he was equally grateful. After some years, he had the money again. Then an epidemic passed over the country. Thousands of families were left without support. So Tetsujin spent all the money he had collected helping the helpless. When it was all gone, he started collecting it again. Finally, his great project was accomplished, and he died content. Tetsujin's edition of the holy books in Japanese can still be seen, but those who know say that the first two editions, which have never been seen, far surpass the third. Buddha told this parable. A traveler, fleeing a tiger who was chasing him, ran till he came to the edge of a cliff. There he caught hold of a thick vine and swung himself over the edge. Above him the tiger snarled. Below him he heard another snarl, and behold, there was another tiger, peering up at him. The vine suspended him midway between two tigers. Two mice, a white mouse and a black mouse, began to gnaw at the vine. He could see they were quickly eating it through. Then, in front of him, on the cliffside, he saw a luscious bunch of grapes. Holding onto the vine with one hand, he reached and picked the grape with the other. How delicious!